Before we get into this video, man, or woman, a lot of changes have been going on with my channel lately. I started 2 new sections. I started a podcast channel.
Joining me on another episode of the Handle That Podcast. Today, we got a real good friend of mine. Believe it or not, this is the first time I've ever met him in person. We've been real cool. Huh?
Crunch.
And I also started an Ask Abdul section of my main channel. Now I'm only posting this.
Nani?
Now I'm only posting this part. Damn, fuck up again. Now I'm only posting.
What?
Can I get it right? Can I get it right? Now I'm only posting this one podcast episode on my main channel as a means of getting people to go to my podcast channel, which is the Handle That Podcast. I'll leave the link in the description. You can definitely check that out. All of my other videos like this are going to go straight to my podcast channel because this channel is already oversaturated.
What did you say, nigga?
With too much content right now. You know, I don't want to oversaturate it and have people come to my main channel for my podcast episodes when I have a whole separate channel for that. So make sure to go subscribe to that channel. Also, I feel as though I give pretty good advice. So any questions, any problems you may be going through, I always preach reaching out to people. So if you got any questions or anything like that, you could leave it in the comment section. You could DM me, inbox me on all of the social media, or you can email me at abdulsadvice, all one word, at gmail.com. I'll make a video out of it, put it on the podcast channel, and we can go from there. So let's get into this video. If you follow the channel and you genuinely enjoy the content, then you know for a fact that I preach one thing, and that one thing is responsibility. You have to take responsibility of the things you do, the people that come into your life, and the situations that happen to you as a result of the options and choices that you make. One thing that I get a bad rap for a lot is when I call out the hypocrisy in a lot of the things that women do, it comes off as though I'm misogynistic. It comes off as though I'm a woman basher. That's completely not the case. When in actuality, it's me calling out the obvious flaws in the logic of specific women in specific situations. In this topic right here, it kind of sucks because usually when there's a topic between a man, a woman, and a child, if there's any drama, the only person who really suffers is the child. Apparently what it is this guy has a daughter. Of course he loves his daughter. He wants to, you know, spend time with her. He wants to be with her. He wants to do things with her. And rightfully so. You're a father. You're supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to do those things. As you can tell from this picture right here, if you look at her hair, it's kind of messy. She's got it in that little small bun and whatnot. And I'm assuming that the guy has another woman in his life. And the friction between him and the mother of his child is very, very, very toxic. What it comes down to is he got his daughter's hair done and the mother didn't agree with that. Now this is very common from where I come from. I see stuff like this all the time. I see bitter baby mamas, jealous baby fathers, people who just feel as though this is my child, and even though it's your child as well, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about, and I have the best interests for the child. As you can see from these text threads right here, she threatened to get the police involved. From the post that he put out, he stated that she threatened to never let him see his daughter again. And any man who's about his business, if you have a daughter and there's a chance that you may never see her again, that's gonna hurt you on a level that no weapon can, right? Because that's your seed. That was your son, same thing. You know, there's a certain connection between you and your children. From what I've heard, because I don't have kids, but anybody who has kids can agree with this. There's a connection where you are willing to put your life on the line to ensure the safety of your child. That's just how it is. That's nature. That's natural. She threatened to get the police involved. She's telling him to take the girl to her mom's house and telling him things like, I thought I told you never to let anybody touch my child, and blah, 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 blah. What it all boils down to is that this is a situation where 2 people who clearly should not have had kids. 2 people who clearly should not have been together were together. You have to take responsibility for everything that goes on in your life. I'm never going to stop saying that, right? Obviously, the woman that the girl in the situation, the lady in the situation, she's obviously nuts. She's crazy. She's out of her mind, because as long as your child is safe and in no danger, there should be no problem with getting her hair done. There should be no problem with, seeing to it that she is, kept up appearance-wise. There should be no problem. As long as there is no danger present, and as long as you can keep her protected, there is no problem with anything that he did. But, in situations like this where you got the baby mama, she may be jealous that she's not with the baby father, and he may have another woman, and that's easy. That is always an easy way for a bitter baby mother to, pick and prod and poke at a man through the relationship they have with their kids. It sounds as though I'm coming down on the baby mother, and I am, because she's obviously crazy as he has to take responsibility as well. There's an old funny term. It's, you don't stick your in crazy. You also don't let crazy dick stick you. People show you signs of who they really are. If someone is trying to be reserved, if they're being very conservative about who they are, they're going to show you signs of who they truly are. You cannot hide who you are when you feel relaxed, when you feel comfortable, when you feel really tense, when you're really angry, when you're drunk, when you're overly emotional. These are situations in which you cannot hide who you are. The person who you are is going to come out. I have this funny thing, and I always say you can't hide where you come from when you get angry. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. So if I were to get upset, I try not to get upset. But as soon as I get upset, it's like I can't really put words properly together.
What?
It's you rely on that basic natural instinct, your first language, your first way of talk. So if I get upset, it's gonna be a lot of geechee gullah shit coming out of my mouth. It's not me trying to hide where I'm from. It's just, this is how I talk. But when I get upset, I immediately revert back to the way I was raised. We all do that. He definitely has to take responsibility for this, because he should have known what he was getting himself into. I feel for everybody, every man who has to deal with bitter baby mothers, but you also have to realize and understand where you went wrong in that situation. Why are you associating with this person? This person is clearly not wrapped tight. Why did you have kids with this person? Why did you do all of this shit? You have to come to a point to where you can assess other people, and you can assess their roles and the potential things that they can bring to your life or take from your life. You have to assess this before you continue a long-term relationship with anybody. That's friendship, family, platonic relationships, sexual relationship, financial, all of that shit. You have to assess where anything could potentially go right or wrong with this person. Because if I'll put it to you like this, I'll give you a perfect example. If you are friends with a person who is always telling you about other people that the both of you are mutually cool with, what do you think that person is doing when you're not around? If you always got somebody that calls you, hey man, let me tell you about Chuck. Hey man, let me tell you about Sasha. Hey man, let me tell you about, and all of you are cool with each other, what do you think that person is doing to them when you're not around? Hey man, let me tell you about your bar. Hey man, let me tell you about Abdul. You know what I'm saying? That is a person you don't need around you. Because some people are naive to the point to where you believe that, oh my god, I'm a rapper? Like, the fuck? You are naive if you believe. Anyway, some people are naive to the fact that they can't be double-crossed by other people. You can be done wrong by anybody. Anybody can do you wrong, right? But it's up to you to decipher what this person is about, the true motives, and watch out for red flags. Now, with this situation, it's fucking sad, because the only person that's really going to suffer is the kid. There's going to be dysfunction from her father and her mother, and she's going to grow up thinking that that's normal, and in turn, it's going to turn her into a negative person, right? It's going to turn her into a toxic person, and it's really not her fault. She didn't ask them to make her. I really hope that it works out. I hope all situations with kids like this work out, because it's not their fault that they are, born into this family. They shouldn't have to go through this shit, but it sucks because there's really nothing they can do about it. People like to hold the mantra of, you can't tell me how to raise my kids. That's fine, but I can also tell you that through experience, through seeing it for myself and through other people's experiences, what you're doing has a very high chance of negatively affecting your child. So you two grown-ass adults need to work this shit out so that you can see to it that there's a better future for the both of you and, more importantly, your kid. So with that being said, man, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Understand people's motives, man. You know, talk to people, get their mindset, get their understandings, and make sure that those understandings mesh with yours, because if they don't, you in for a world of trouble. Be positive, be cool, stay groovy, and until next time, deuce. You probably can't even see, like, I ain't even, hold up. Pull the shirt up. Yeah, ain't no cuts yet, but they coming. They coming. This tea is really good.